This morning's guest came from the Maryland Zoo. Tomorrow, he'll have the tiger by the tail. What's it all about? You'll find out coming up next on Carolina People. Good morning. Welcome to Carolina People. This morning we're in the Ice House Theater in the cool country area of the Hard Rock Park. We're focused on how we're going to get them in the park, and we're visiting with the Vice President of Marketing and Sales, Kerry Graves. Good morning,
That's correct.
Kerry.
Good morning to you.
You're the man. You're the one getting them in.
Yes,
Working
indeed.
hard to make that happen. Very exciting way to kick off the week, and of course the sound check tomorrow.
Big thing. It should be our first time to really actually open the doors, and bring the public in, and see the park the way it's supposed to be.
4 to 10 p.m. tomorrow, and I guess almost that same schedule for the next 3 weeks or a couple
Virtually
of nights.
up till May the 7th,
Right.
and then we go into May 8th, which is our annual pass appreciation evening, when annual pass holders can come out exclusively and experience a great concert with One Republic.
One Republic is playing on the 8th.
Yes, they are.
Wow.
That's big.
Absolutely. May 9th, even almost bigger.
Exactly. You have your annual pass bought, right?
I'll
see you here that night.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
good.
You'll see me tomorrow night.
Excellent.
That's right, yeah. To think about the kind of crowds that are already getting excited about tomorrow's kickoff, and of course a lot happening on eBay. I guess everything's wrapping up on eBay for the big
Wrapping
ticket
up,
purchase.
people ticket purchases, riding the first coaster.
Right.
That's been big. I mean, it's just we're everywhere, and it's keeping our heads spinning.
When you think, Kerry, about the folks who are going to be daily drivers, you're expecting folks to drive in or contemplating folks driving in from all over?
Oh, definitely. I think we'll have people coming in, as far away as New York, Ohio. We've had calls in actually from Australia, from Japan. I doubt they'll drive, but no driving yet. But I think that, in our opening season here, you'll see people from all over the world, not just all over this area.
Absolutely. How exciting. Real quick about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
No, I'm originally from Texas. But with my career in the attraction business, I've been all over. So my most recent position was in Maryland. So I'm down from Baltimore.
Is that right?
That's
Great.
right.
Not a bad trip. And, of course, a lot of folks from that part of the country that will be making
That's
this
going to be a big market for us. I really
easy
will.
trip down here. As we think about, of course, the layout, and a lot of folks can go online. If a viewer needs to get off to work now or get family off to school, Kerry, is there a good number, even a website to visit, to check out?
Definitely. I mean, check out, hardrockpark.com.
Okay.
And if you check it once, you'll check it often, because it's very interactive. There's a lot of things to do, contests, promotions, new little intriguing things we put in there just to keep you coming back and entertained, as well as the information that you're going to want to see and feel before you get there. We consider the website to be probably your first real exposure to the park.
Sure.
So we want you to get that same vibe when you go online as you will when you come to the front gate. But if you want to call and get information right away, 843-236-ROCK.
Absolutely. Easy to remember that one, 236-ROCK. And, of course, a lot of folks, when you get there, there's even webcams I saw online, seeing shots of the park to really take in what you may not be able to see in a newspaper or on a radio spot. You can see it on TV, but obviously just utilizing hardrockpark.com.
There's also a real unique interactive map that's, of course, it's animated, but you can get in and see the coasters work and the rides, and if you drill down into it, into different attractions, there's actually little hidden things there as well. So there's a simulation of the coaster, a little sneak peek of what's going on inside the dark ride. It's a real, like I said, interactive, a lot of fun to get in.
Folks don't need to buy a pass just to use the website there. Yeah, I mean,
not yet, but no, definitely not.
Some nooks and cranny, and a tremendous deal on the annual passes.
Oh yeah, annual passes are that's the way to go. I mean, they're $150.
Right.
It's free parking. They pay for themselves in less than three visits, right? And with all the concerts and the entertainment we have coming up, it's a bargain. It really is.
Other than I believe the Eagles and the Moody Blues, all those performers, 38 Special, of course, Kid Rock, some of the other tremendous performers, folks can get in with the annual pass.
Correct. Kid Rock comes in on May 13th. And with Rev Run, and that's going to be a tremendous show. Wow. I've seen him several times, and I'm looking forward to being there myself, if not at my desk. And then we'll follow that up with May 16th with Charlie Daniels and 38 Special, along with Shooter Jennings. So once again, another big show. Let's say we go from there to the 23rd of May, which is George Clinton and Parliament Funkadelic. Remember that? That would be that's a big one. After that, I guess our highlight for the summer, at least in my opinion, is going to be our grand opening event, which happens on June 2nd and 3rd, and that is on the 2nd we have the Eagles. On the 3rd we have Moody Blues. There is an additional charge for that event because that's a special event and a very exclusive event. We'll only have a select amount of people in the park.
Right.
So it's almost like having a private concert on your own.
Wow.
All that information is available online. You can purchase tickets there.
With the Eagles.
With the Eagles.
The Moody Blues.
Exactly.
And of course, Moody Blues, I guess, excited about one of the rides out here. I'm sure
as are the Eagles.
Excited.
I mean, the Eagles have their own ride here too. Life in
right?
the Fast Lane.
Oh, great.
Moody Blues, Nice and White Satin, the Trip. We're hoping that they'll be out riding their rides as well. So you not only get a chance to see the stars, you might get a chance to interact with them.
With the sneak peek, obviously kicking off tomorrow, the idea behind sneak peek was really to have. What was the idea behind that?
Well, the idea for sneak peek is basically a soft opening, which is in the business. But what we want more is to give people an opportunity to come out and to get an actual feel for the park. I mean, we're only open basically from 4 to 10. So, you won't be able to get that all-day experience that most people are going to want.
Right.
But you will be able to ride the rides, to see the attractions, to get into the gift shops before they're all sold out.
Sure.
So it's a real good chance to come out and see what's available.
Do you want folks to give you feedback, to give you ideas of things they see, thoughts they've got?
And, the one thing that's going to separate our park from, hopefully, from all other parks is the fact that, we have rides, we have attractions. They may not be the tallest in the world or the fastest, but they are the coolest. And what's better than that, though, is what you get in this park, and that's the experience. I mean, we're not selling a ride, or we're not selling, once again, a show, but what we are giving you is we're giving you an experience that you'll walk away with and think, wow, that was cool, and I can hardly wait to come back.
The tough part of that is trying to imagine, how do you market the world's first rock and roll theme park when it's just that, when it's not a bunch of things that people have done before?
Quite honestly, I'm extremely lucky in my position because I've had a lot of help. I think that the trailblazing was done by the Hard Rock brand, by the cafes, the hotels, the casinos. I mean, what a cool place to be and cool place to work. So as long as, we follow that synergy and go through it, I think, wow, this park will sell itself.
Yes, that brand has been built on a lot of other extensions when we think of casinos or hotels or...
One of the most, I think, top 5 recognized brands in the world.
Is that right?
That's correct.
Wow. Well, it sure shows. And to see the tremendous, as we think about just 10 days ago, as the governor was in town celebrating the opening of a $500 million investment in the Myrtle Beach area, to see another $500 million investment recognized by tomorrow's screen check.
The whole sound check.
Yes.
It's all right. The whole Grand Strand area, I think, is on the cusp or right off of just blowing it off the map. I mean, we do 12 to 14 million tourists a year here already. We have one of the most beautiful beaches, I think, on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it's pristine. It's the people are wonderful, and and the pricing here is very, very affordable. So I think that, this is really, really going to be the place to be.
Absolutely. Kerry, give viewers a sense if they're visiting for the first time, and again, hardrockpark.com or 236-ROCK. For some of our viewers in the PD, southeastern North Carolina, it's pretty easy to find if they're coming down, let's say, from Florence.
It better be, otherwise I won't be here next year. No, definitely. We have, it's an easy shot in, and we have billboards everywhere, as you've probably seen, and information, everybody knows about it. It should be an easy trek in, and like I said, a wonderful day in the park.
Absolutely. Let's give a little sense if they're visiting for the first time for tomorrow's sound check. If they're here,
let me back up on that a bit and let me explain to you a little bit about the park.
Sure,
and
please.
Why we do the things we do here. The park, as it's set up right now, is set up in 6 separate environs or zones. We don't call them lands; they're not worlds, because they're each under themselves a unique piece of the experience, or I would say a different facet of rock and roll, if you will. And the reason we did this is because Myrtle Beach is an extremely family destination. Your parents come with you, your kids, yourself, so the generations span. And what we found here in the research we did, and just in walk around looking, is that the family likes to stick together. Family doesn't want to split up in this market. Now, being in this business for a long time, I can tell you when I go into a theme park, the first thing I do is look at my watch and I'll say, okay, everybody be back here at 4 o'clock. And, mom takes the little kids and they go off to the little kid things. The teens go off to the thrill rides. My folks are there, they'll go off and catch a show. and I'll find a nice dark corner in a restaurant someplace, and we'll all cook back up at 4. But here, we want to keep the family together because it is very important. And that's one reason why we didn't set this park up into like 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. Because once again, people are going to, spread out and separate into the area of music they like the best.
Right.
So let me walk you through the way we did this. If you go into, and I'm going to take you in the park on a clockwise venture. So we're going to go into the park, and first of all, coming into the all-access area.
Yeah.
Now, the all-access area is a real cool place with little shops. It's gift shops, of course, restaurants, cafes. A little place you can walk in, and it's actually built where you're going to, it's I won't say narrow, but it's not very open. And when I say that, it's not like you're going to walk in and see a whole park laying in front of you, but we want it to sneak up on you as you go through. So the all-access area, once again, a nice place to get oriented, have a cup of coffee, get the kids spiced up in some candy, and then head into the park. If you go then, like I said, in a clockwise way, the first environment you'll get into is called Rock and Roll Heaven. And Rock and Roll Heaven basically pays tribute to great rock and roll artists of all time, not just those that are not with us anymore. But those that are great, and the music that that people know and really associate with across the time spans. So everybody from from B.B. King, Buddy Holly, all the way up to the current bands.
Sure.
Rock and Roll Heaven has our signature roller coaster in it, and that is Led Zeppelin the ride. And that's one to see. That really is. Led Zeppelin the ride. We built it. It's directly in the flight path of directly in, but it's in the flight path of the airport. Therefore, we built it as high as we could.
Right.
So you'll be at the top of the ride, and jets will literally be soaring right over your head. It's a real cool experience. But
safely.
Very safely.
Safely.
Very safely.
Yeah.
Safety is number one at this park. We stress that.
Yeah.
But the Led Zeppelin is actually the whole ride's choreographed to a whole lot of love. So you go around and so forth, and it's really cool. The onboard speaker system, which is something you won't see anyplace else either. Most rides, if you've been on rides that play music, your speakers mounted behind your head.
Sure.
And while it sounds good in theory, when you're moving, it can be a little less than what you expect.
Sure.
Right. We actually have our speakers mounted up in front, so you're actually riding into the music. So that's going to make it a real
pretty long song there, Kerry.
Yeah, it's a long song, but just to let you know, it's the roller coaster doesn't last 7 minutes.
Right.
It's a 2-minute ride, but the entire experience starts once again as you get into the queue line. As you come up, you'll start hearing the song.
Right.
You'll walk into the facility. The song will follow you in. The music will follow you throughout, and last until the ride's over and you exit the park.
Wow.
Or exit the
ride.
the attraction.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Now in this area also, we have our ice show, and I'm sorry, ice show. We're sitting here on the ice.
We're right here. That's right. We'll wrap up here. Yeah.
Oh yes, we have Malibu Beach Club, our beach
great.
party, which is our which is a diving show, stunt show. It's real fun. We have
Something for all ages. That's something my
Right.
5-year-old would like.
Oh, something 5-year-old like, something you'll love. Your parents if they're there.
Great.
We have gift shops that are in the area. The Tiki Time Lounge is right there. I mean, it's great. So what I'm trying to put into this in a very long roundabout way is the fact that the family could come here, and there's a thrill ride for the big kids.
Right.
There's Reggae River Falls for the little kids, which is a water play area. There's a restaurant right there where you can sit down and grab lunch or dinner if you're there in time.
Sure.
There's a show for the adults that want to see a show. But once again, the experience stays together. And this is the kind of experience or the kind of thing we would like to follow throughout the park.
Part of the thrill for folks to get an annual pass to come spend a day in that area, then come spend a day over in the British Invasion or in the other parts which you'll talk about.
Well, you'll have a chance with an annual pass to really explore the park and not rush through it. Because we really don't want you to rush through the park. We're trying to make it, once again, give you that experience that that we're promising you.
Yeah.
So if you leave Rock and Roll Heaven, you'll walk across a bridge to the British Invasion. And the British Invasion basically is themed like London. And the reason being, London hasn't changed much in the last 40 years or so since since rock has come through. Probably longer than that. I'm thinking 50 years or so. So the same red iron phone booths or
Right.
call boxes, as they say, that the bands in the '60s stood in front of, and real mean.
Sure.
Are the same ones that the current bands, the Coldplays and so forth, they're still standing in front of, looking real mean. So
Right.
so the actual venue hasn't changed much at all, and that makes a good backdrop for British Invasion.
Absolutely.
But British Invasion we'll have our roadie stunt show there, which is
Right.
a real neat interactive show with a lot of pyro, and
Right.
it's like I said, that one's worth the price of admission. But at the same time, we have another coaster, Maximum RPM, which is a coaster that's actually, the lift mechanism is done on a Ferris wheel. So you ride into a Ferris wheel, which will pick you up and drop you off on the top of the coaster, and goes that way.
Get down.
It's something else.
That's tremendous.
We have, once again, rides for the small children. We have our London taxis. We have all the King's horses, a beautiful carousel. The shops and the eateries in that area are also themed British or basically in London, so you can get your fish and chips, or you can have a pint if you want to. And
in London is the home of the Hard Rock Cafe as well. Is
That's
that right?
correct. The first cafe went up in London.
Rank, yeah, right. Sure,
So-
special place.
Oh yeah. You can leave London, then you go into Lost in the 70s, and Lost in the 70s is where one of our feature attractions is. Moody Blues, Nights in White Satin, The Trip,
Right.
and that's a ride which is I think it's one of the first sensory dark rides that's ever been done. So you'll go through and you'll smell candle wax and incense and all sorts of different things, as well as seeing illusions, and it's really, really neat.
Wow. Yes. It sounds like something that even your face changed a little bit just thinking about
Oh yeah.
yes. That ride, the excitement there, and of course the even bigger thrill to have the Moody Blues here on Tuesday, June
Definitely.
3rd,
And
performing after the Eagles the night before.
They've been out and they've walked the ride prior to it when we were putting it up, and they were as excited about it as we are, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So if they're in the Lost in the 70s, there's still a little more. I was about to say you almost stop right there.
No,
Lost
in the 70s
the
is
park
great.
would be
We have
even an incredible park
We have
itself.
a great pinball wizard arcade inside.
Right,
There's a wonderful sit-down restaurant, which is very, very unique, but we haven't yet identified it, or I should say we have, but we haven't announced what that association is going to be. But it's going to be an attraction among itself as well.
Folks will see it tomorrow at 4 p.m. They'll be out here. It'll be open tomorrow?
Yes, it will.
Okay,
and,
great. Sound check.
We'll see it then. But the neat thing is, and I'll say once again for annual pass holders, is that this restaurant, our chef has won several awards since he's been in town.
Right.
And it's worth the price just to come and to go to the restaurant. Come to dinner
Listen
and go
up.
back.
Well, as you think about it, $50 may sound like a lot for folks who aren't buying an annual pass, but even if they were coming in tomorrow, the $40 for the sound check, spread that out over 6 hours, that's maybe $7 or $8 an hour. The excitement, the thrill, the opportunity to get on
Exactly. I mean, think
so
what
many
you-
of these attractions, but the annual pass.
I mean, think
what
of
a
a lot of attractions now are only an hour, 2 hours long, and you might pay $20 or so. But think about it, or 30 or more.
Sure.
But per hour cost, I mean, wow. I'm giving you a $400+ million theme park.
Right.
And you get to experience for only $50
I
a
can't even
day.
fathom it. I mean, it is tremendous.
Well,
It
and
is.
if you want to look at it as well, I mean, with all the concerts, and we just talked about half a dozen of them, and there's
Right.
many more to come.
Right.
Our special events, we'll be doing a Halloween nights event or Halloween events, and a lot of those things. I mean, when you roll all that together, I mean, suddenly it's wow, you almost come out for free.
Right. Is Born in the USA around there?
Well, actually, leading me along the way from Lost in the 70s, we do go into Born in the USA after that.
Oh, good. It's right there. Yeah.
Born in the USA is basically, once again, is sort of a tribute to artists that are born in the USA.
Hey now, yeah.
Exactly. And that's where our hard rock, or not hard rock, but that's where our live venue is, where you'll see all the major concerts. It's
Right.
a venue that will hold up to 10,000 people standing that can see this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a great coaster, Slippery When Wet, which is you can actually peer down on it. You hang in a pod with 4 people, but you have to be careful because it's located close to our Kids Rock State Park, where we have water cannons where they can actually shoot up and blast you as you come down with a water cannon.
Get down.
So
there's a little payback there, though.
yeah,
as well,
there is.
right? Yeah.
Yes, there is. There's
You
a
can get 'em
great
back.
meals, Eat Me Diner that's right there, so you can get a good taste of Americana while you're walking through. Once again, there's lots of gift shops and attractions and opportunities good for the entire family.
Absolutely.
We leave All right,
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, we got about 5 minutes, please.
Okay, I'll walk you out of there and bring us back here where we are now in Cool Country. Cool Country is our tribute to this area, to South Carolina, and it probably, good description, more like Southern rock. We have a lot of new country, but we'll have great bands from now back to, I think, Hank Williams maybe, and just a good country feel to it.
Absolutely, and 3 big performances, 3 big shows that are happening year-round and throughout the park, but then you've got a lot of smaller shows. You highlighted one, the Malibu Beach Party over there, and obviously the Roadies show.
Well, you come here and see Country on the Rocks, which was a real nice ice venue.
Absolutely.
And, nice, cool place.
We got here earlier this morning setting up and saw a couple of performers out practicing a little bit. It was amazing. It was amazing. We hope that throughout the week, and of course later the week, I think tomorrow, the big day, the first day of sound check, I think, is that Stephen Goodwin will be with us.
Right. This is the first time I guess I'm the opening act for Stephen Goodwin. He'll be the main event. He'll come in tomorrow and be able to give you a little more of the the history and the foresight of this park.
Right.
And I believe Dale Kretzel, our general manager, follows
on Thursday. That's right.
Absolutely. Stephen, and then we ended
John
up with
Binkowski right at the end of the week. That's exactly right.
That's a show that you won't want to miss.
I love it. We're hoping to get Kristen Andre in on Wednesday if her schedule permits. You all are so crazy right now with the sound check opening tomorrow at 4. And for you, Kerry, I think you've been here a little more than a year now.
That's
so
right.
You've really seen much of the park roll out.
When I first walked in, there was just literally nothing here but a large, dirt lot. So it's phenomenal to see the way it's come along now. I mean, it really is like just, it's magic.
Is there a target demographic? Is there such a thing, Kerry, when you think about it? Because you've highlighted things that would be great for grandma, things would be great for my folks, things would be great even for my 5.5-year-old and for kids of all ages.
No, there's not really. And that's one of the, you say that, and I sit here and think, that's one of the unique points about this product, and that's the fact that we have something here for people of all ages.
Right.
So the fact that we're charging, one low price of $50, and if you compare that to other theme parks around the country, I mean, I think the Orlando parks are all now up into the upper 60, 67, $68 for their kids' price. Adults paying into the 70s or 80s.
Wow.
The way we like to look at it is that, everybody here pays the kids' price.
Right. That is tremendous, Kerry. Let's think. Are you all expecting to pull a lot of folks that are already visiting the Myrtle, or do you expect to get a lot of folks that'll feed the park coming essentially as first-time visitors?
Yes. No,
good answer. Yeah, no, I like it.
Of course.
Yeah.
We think that we'll be able to help with this entire area, bring in more tourists, the visitations. We think it's going to be good for the business for everybody here, and that's very important. But we're not just a tourist theme park. I mean, we're a Myrtle Beach facility, and we recognize the fact that that we want to take care of the local residents and give them the experience that we give anybody else. I mean, we're all about the experience.
Absolutely. Just to hear that the Harley group would be making this part of their home show is a big deal, and even the Memorial Day Bike Fest folks really tying in this is one of their central locations throughout their 2 big bike weeks to kick off the park. That's a huge deal.
Oh, and just keep an eye on for all the special events that we're going to be doing in the September, October, November time periods.
Right.
Once again, giving local residents a reason to come out and to enjoy themselves.
Absolutely.
That's what we are.
That is exciting, Kerry. Anything that keeps driving you and keeping you focused on the big day, of course, the sound check tomorrow, but I mean, what has kept you motivated over the last? Is it just to get to tomorrow?
No, not at all. I mean, what's kept me motivated is this entire project. This is like nothing I've ever experienced before. The staff, the product. I mean, it's remarkable, and I mean, I love it. I come to work because I love coming to work, and right now we're putting in 20 hours a day.
Right.
But you know what? I get up in the morning and I just look forward to walking through that front door. It's great.
No sleep tonight, huh?
No sleep tonight.
No sleep
like
tonight for tomorrow. That's right.
No, not at all.
No sleep tonight is amped. You're going to enjoy amped.
I have my frequent visitor's card at AMP, I think. Yeah.
Those are great words. Folks are going to have to see that live time tomorrow. Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
We've run out of time.
Enjoy it.
Absolutely. Stay tuned to more Kerry Graves, the Vice President of Marketing and Sales, coming up next. Think about working for a company where you're able to respond to that question. What's your target demographic? You're trying to bring folks in. What's your target demographic? It's any age. It's all ages. You heard him talking about all 6 of these environs. It was attractive to you. It's exciting to you to hear you talk about them. Each one of them almost a separate theme park in themselves. The excitement of coming on into the all-access entry plaza, but cruising around, if you take it clockwise, right there into rock and roll heaven. That's a place. You could spend a lot of time there, spend a full day. The annual passes are what it's all about. Take the time to go online, hardrockpark.com, hardrockpark.com, or 843-236-ROCK. But keep going around, even when you pass Romeo and Juliet there, those swans out on the lagoon, on the lake, and roll on into the British invasion. There's a lot there. The excitement, seeing Kerry perk up there as he's talking about, I think he's thinking about some special food over there, some special rides, knowing that tomorrow, at the sound check as it kicks off, 4 o'clock, that everyone can be a part of it. Not just the folks that have been making it happen, but everyone. This can be your park. But you got to take the time, 843-236-ROCK or hardrockpark.com. But keep going. There's a lot more. Lost in the 70s, Born in the USA, of course, cool country over here. It's incredible to think about everything that has to happen to make this happen. It's taken a lot of time, but tomorrow's the big day. Get out here. The sound check kicks off. You can be a part of it. Kerry Graves.
Thank you very much
for
again.
making it happen. Absolutely.